Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now. Folks, buckle up because what's happening right now in the NFL, especially with the Pittsburgh Steelers, is nothing short of seismic. We've got a trade rumor that's been buzzing around the league, and if it comes to fruition, it could be one of the most impactful moves of the season. The Steelers are reportedly in talks to acquire Demario Davis, the all-pro linebacker from the New Orleans Saints, and let me tell you, this isn't just a typical trade rumor. This could be a game-changer not only for Pittsburgh, but for the entire AFC North and the league as a whole. So what's the scoop? According to reports from trusted insiders like Adam Schefter and others, the Steelers are pushing hard to land Davis, offering a second-round pick in the 2026 draft and a young linebacker comparable to Highsmith. Now I know what you might be thinking. Why would the Saints consider parting ways with Davis? Well, here's the thing. New Orleans is currently sitting at a 2-6 record, and it's no secret that their season isn't exactly what they'd hoped for. They're also dealing with some cap space issues, around $8, $3 million, and are in full rebuild mode. They've been releasing veterans to clear cap and draft picks, trying to set themselves up for a future rebuild. On the other side, the Steelers are sitting at 4-3, with roughly $2 million in cap space, but they're also facing some challenges, especially in the middle of the field. After injuries to Holcomb and Clark, their run defense has taken a hit, allowing an alarming 150 rushing yards per game. So acquiring Davis could be a strategic move to bolster their defense, especially their run-stopping game. Now let's talk about Demario Davis himself. The guy is a true veteran titan. At 36 years old, he's still playing at an incredibly high level, reminiscent of the twilight years of Ray Lewis, but with his own unique style and leadership qualities. In 2025, Davis played in 8 games, racking up 72 tackles, 37 of them solo with 35 assists. He also had 5 tackles for loss, 1 sack, and an impressive PFF grade of 88. 9. His EPA per run was 25, which shows how disruptive he's been against the run. In coverage, Davis was targeted 21 times, allowing only 15 completions for 169 yards, with just 2 touchdowns allowed, an efficiency that's hard to beat for a linebacker. His coverage stats are solid, especially considering his age and experience, and he's known for his high football IQ and leadership on and off the field. Over his career, Davis has accumulated over 200 tackles, 40 sacks, and a career PFF grade of 90. 2, which is elite for a linebacker. His durability is also a huge plus. No significant injuries in 2025, which is rare in today's NFL. But why is this move significant? Well, imagine what Davis brings to a defense like Pittsburgh. The Steelers have been trying to find consistency in their linebacker core, especially after losing some key players to injuries. Adding someone like Davis, who can play both the run and pass effectively, and who's also a natural leader, could elevate the entire defense. His stats, including a 126.9 passer rating allowed in coverage, show that he's still capable of holding his own against top-tier quarterbacks. And let's not forget, Davis is a tackle machine, adding over 100 tackles projected for him if he joins the Steelers. Plus, he's capable of generating around 10 tackles for loss, which is huge for a defense that's been trying to tighten up the middle against some of the league's most potent rushing attacks. Now, I want to pause here for just a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let's continue with the big reveal. Moving on, the Saints' perspective is understandable. They're in a rebuild, and their defense has been leaky, giving up about 28 points per game, which is far from ideal. They're also trying to free up cap space for future moves, especially to bolster their offensive line and other key positions. Trading away Davis, who's a veteran presence, might seem risky, but it's a calculated move to accumulate draft picks and rebuild the roster. The trade would also mean a loss of roughly 20% of their expected defensive EPA. Essentially, they're giving up some immediate defensive efficiency for future flexibility. There's skepticism about whether the young players in their secondary can step up quickly and fill the void left by Davis. But from the Steelers' perspective, this is a golden opportunity. Pittsburgh has been battling injuries in their linebacker core, especially after Holcomb's knee injury and Clark's ankle issues, which have left the middle of their defense somewhat vulnerable. Acquiring Davis with his experience and leadership could turn that around almost instantly. Now, what kind of impact are we really talking about here? Well, if Davis joins the Steelers, it's projected to add over 100 tackles to their total, boost their tackles for loss by around 10, and significantly elevate their overall defensive grade according to PFF, perhaps by around 6.5 points. This turns their linebacker unit into a real fortress, reminiscent of the legendary Steel Curtain era. Think about it, Davis's presence would reduce opponents' rushing yards per game by about 50 yards, making it much harder for teams to run effectively against Pittsburgh. His ability to set the edge, combined with his leadership, could be the catalyst for a real turnaround in their run defense, something that's been a sore spot lately. And here's where it gets even more interesting. This move could have a ripple effect on the entire team. With Davis helping to anchor the defense, the Steelers could become more aggressive in their pass rush, indirectly benefiting a quarterback like Kenny Pickett, who would have more time and fewer threats against him. The defense becoming a strength again means more turnovers, possibly an increase of around 5 turnovers, which can be the difference in close games. And don't forget, in today's NFL, where the game is often decided by a few key plays, having a linebacker of Davis's caliber can be the X-factor in playoff situations. Now, let's talk about the odds. If we look at the Super Bowl futures, the Steelers' chances could see a significant boost. Right now, they're sitting at around plus 5,000, but if this trade happens, some betting lines suggest their odds could improve to around plus 2,800. That's a huge jump and reflects the confidence the market might have in a Steelers team that's suddenly more formidable on defense. This move could turn them into a playoff contender, especially against run-heavy teams, which seem to be a growing trend in the league. Plus, it's worth noting that this kind of acquisition is comparable to historic moves like Brian Urlacher's impact on the Bears. Sometimes, one player can lift an entire franchise. So what's the bigger picture? Well, if the Steelers manage to pull this off, they not only reinforce their defense for the current season, but also send a message to the league. They're serious about competing now and in the future. It's a bold move, but one that could pay off big time. The combination of their current roster, the need for a leader in the middle, and Davis's proven track record makes this a move worth watching closely. If they succeed, it could be the start of a new era of Steelers dominance, one that echoes the glory days of the Steel Curtain. And from the Saints' point of view, they're making a strategic decision to trade a veteran for draft capital, setting themselves up for a rebuild that could take a few years but might be worth it if they hit on their picks. In conclusion, folks, this potential trade isn't just another NFL rumor. It's a potential turning point for the Steelers, and it's exactly what fans like us have been waiting for. It's about building a defense that's tough, disciplined, and ready to challenge the league's best. It's about adding a leader who can elevate everyone around him. It's about seizing the moment and making a statement that Pittsburgh is back in serious contention. Whether this trade happens or not, one thing is for sure. The Steelers are always in the conversation, and with moves like this, they're reminding everyone that they're still a team to watch. So keep your eyes peeled, stay tuned, and I'll be right here with all the latest updates on this story and much more. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep the passion alive.